Exclusive footage. Kevin Hart reacts after arresting Terrence Howard. Until they change, the place should be subject to some sort of sanctions. No amount of removing spinal bones from your body will allow you to squeeze into someone's ceiling. You must rise up with dignity and honor. The most recent scandal in Hollywood supposedly involves Tyler Perry and Terrence Howard. Supposedly, Terrence Howard is preparing to spill the beans on some very important details regarding Tyler Perry. Additionally, this is not mere empty rhetoric. Word on the street is that it's a major development with the potential to rock the entertainment industry. The matter in question? There has been a lot of buzz about this subject recently. Movies and TV shows that feature black guys dressed in dresses. In regards to this matter, Terrence Howard is not remaining mute. What he perceives as a concerted effort to devalue traditional masculinity, especially among black performers, has allegedly had an impact on him personally. He goes on to accuse Tyler Perry of spearheading this agenda, and points the finger squarely at him. Without fear of reprimand, Terrence has grown weary of Hollywood's insistence on casting black males in parts that don't conform to stereotypical notions of masculinity. Not only that, but he's speaking out against the practice alongside other famous people like Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle. Although Terrence has issues with the roles in general, the consequences he has endured as a result of defending his convictions have made him unhappy. His refusal to wear a frock for a part has made him a notoriously difficult coworker in Hollywood. Terrence will not stand idly by while this dispute continues. In his opinion, the entertainment industry engages in a harmful activity, and he is ready to speak out about it. Terrence Howard appears prepared to fight this battle, suggesting that this Hollywood drama may only be beginning, even though others may think it's all gossip. The allegations that Terrence Howard is contemplating a permanent departure from acting indicate that his discontent is at an all-time high. Because of his accusations that the entertainment business is encouraging a disturbing trend, he feels alone. What's the big deal? Let's get into the drama. Cat Williams has rekindled debates on the contentious Hollywood practice of requiring black performers to wear dresses for jobs, implying that it's an essential step towards becoming famous. Rumor has it that Terrence Howard, who has a reputation for both his acting chops and the controversy surrounding his private life, is the most recent actor to defy this trend and suffer the consequences from the entertainment world. It appeared like Terrence, whose brilliance had been on full display since his 2000s breakthrough role and highly praised performance in Crash, was about to become Hollywood's next leading man. He was one of the highest-paid performers in the blockbuster due to his role as Rhodey in the original Iron Man picture. Rumor has it that Marvel offered Terrence a substantial salary cut, and by the time Iron Man 2 came out, Don Cheadle had supplanted him. Speculation sparked by rumors. Terrence Howard may have been forced out, or perhaps they just parted ways amicably. Not much is known. Terrence has denied being a diva on set, claiming that Entertainment Weekly's reports about him are inaccurate and that he is being unfairly stereotyped as an angry black man because he stands up to what he sees as attempts to devalue black masculinity in the entertainment industry. Standing up to what he perceives as a harmful industry agenda has made Terrence Howard feel ostracized, and his resentment is rising as a result. The continuing discussion about representation and stereotypes in entertainment is further complicated by this narrative, which places Terrence Howard at the epicenter of an unresolved argument. Concerning the representation of black men in Hollywood, Terrence Howard has a grudge against Tyler Perry. The role of Medea, an older lady who is both strong and amusing, has brought Tyler Perry fame. Despite the enormous popularity of his Medea films, Terrence Howard believes there is a more fundamental problem. Terrence claims that black actors in Hollywood are being pressured to emulate Tyler Perry's success as Medea by portraying female leads in period pieces including dresses. According to Terrence, this is now practically an unspoken law, and black actors who refuse run the danger of being marginalized in the business. The notion that black males in Hollywood are expected to portray a more feminine side is not novel. Comedian and actor Eddie Griffin was an early voice on the subject in 1999 with his film Foolish, in which he also acted. In a notable scene, producers from Hollywood try to convince Eddie's character to look the part by claiming that all famous actors do it. "Do you think I should put on a dress? This isn't a supporting part, you moron. All the heart and soul of the film will be on you." After that, in 2006, Dave Chappelle shared a comparable story on Oprah. He drew parallels between Eddie Griffin's narrative and his own experience of feeling compelled to wear a dress for a comedy sketch. On the broadcast, Dave voiced his opinion on the topic of why so many black actors portray female roles or wear dresses throughout their careers. Thus, Tyler Perry isn't the only target of Terrence Howard's conflict with Tyler. It's on the significance of Tyler's Medea success for other black actors in Hollywood. More concerned with Hollywood's promotion of specific stereotypes than with the performer's choices or comic skill is Terrence's fear that black men will increasingly masquerade as women for laughter. An extremely thought-provoking story was delivered by Dave Chappelle. A dress was already laid out for Dave when he went to get ready. They had a scene in mind where Martin's character escaped from prison, and they thought it would be humorous if Dave's character donned a female disguise to aid in the escape. "No way," Dave said, he had no intention of donning the garment. Neither the scene nor his character seemed to fit, in his opinion. The film's producers pleaded with him, telling him that the costume was a tradition for comedians and that the scene would be hilarious. Yet Dave was not in agreement. He asserted his independence by stating that he could be humorous even when not dressed formally. There was a lot of push and pull from the producers, directors, and writers, and it became a huge problem. However, Dave remained resolute. They eventually had to reimagine the sequence such that the dress was unnecessary. Dave considered this to be a major issue. His epiphany came when he recognized how often this is in Hollywood, where many black male actors wind up wearing dresses. According to him, it's just another example of how the business is pressuring black artists to produce commercially viable work regardless of how it makes them feel. It became clear to Dave that he had company in those who had experienced similar pressure. As one example, Martin Lawrence's character in Big Mama's House required him to wear a dress. You have to ask why this trend is there and what it implies for black performers in Hollywood after hearing Dave's experience. The Nutty Professor series catapulted Eddie Murphy to stardom, while In Living Color's Ugly Wanda made Jamie Foxx famous. White Chicks was another drag show in which the Wayans brothers appeared. Also, think about Joanna Mann, who isn't quite as well known. Dave Chappelle is incredibly smart, not just in comedy, but in his deep thought. Hollywood works in its own way, but for me, wearing a dress was never someone else's decision. It was my choice, for my $2 billion franchise, Tyler Perry said in response to Chappelle's remarks in an interview. Putting on a dress is like putting on a uniform for work. I don't enjoy it, but it's part of the character. I've done 19 films my way. How would you go about resolving the matter of spreading joy and uplifting people? Chappelle, you are one of the brightest individuals I have ever met, guy. Yes, exactly. Not only is he funny, but the man is also heavy, intelligent, and talented. While appearing on the Shay Shay Show alongside Shannon Sharpe, Cat Williams was also brought up in conversation. As an example of his forthrightness, Williams divulged some trade secrets about his colleagues, including a major assertion on Martin Lawrence. Williams asserts that black comedians are expected to dress a certain manner in Hollywood films as a sign of their will to achieve success at whatever cost. The industry's expectations of black actors have been the subject of heated controversy as a result of this. Buckbreaking was a brutal practice, therefore let's look at its background. In the Caribbean, slave masters would resort to this savage technique on male slaves who dared to show any hint of rebellion. As part of the demeaning procedure, the slave was whipped severely after bending over a tree stump and being forced to remove his pants. The goal was to crush his will so that he could no longer fight off additional AB. Dealing with this bleak period of history is challenging. For slave owners, whipping was just the beginning. They would inflict unfathomable pain on the captive man's family by committing additional horrors in their presence. In the modern era, a troubling resemblance can be seen in the Hollywood portrayal of powerful black males, who are frequently compelled to don costumes in order to secure certain jobs. Concerns about this practice have focused on the influence it may have on young viewers who look up to these celebrities. These public changes impact not only the performers but also their loved ones, making it seem like a psychological game. There seems to be a revolving door here where repressive strategies from the past take on new shapes. The selection of black males recognized for their machismo for these positions is disturbing. We are not here to judge the sexual orientation or gender expression of any individual. No one should be able to tell another person how to live their life. But problems emerge when Hollywood's heterosexual black guys feel forced to downplay their public personalities. These guys typically discover that their reputations are drastically changed by the time they exit the industry, despite their confident and commanding entrance. People make choices to conform to these standards, but the industry also has a part to play. In their pursuit of professional advancement, people are willing to compromise their values and do things that go against their principles. they must also be held accountable by us. They appear to be prepared to engage in behaviors that degrade their dignity in order to achieve the next degree of achievement. The industry seems to be putting them through their paces, as if to ask, how serious are you about being successful? Is the pursuit of fame and fortune more important to you than upholding your principles and earning the respect of your community? It would appear that some people are now caving into these demands, which is a contemporary take on the old practice of buck-breaking. Truly, the scene has changed. It's now up to personal preference. Cat Williams revealed a personal story about Martin Lawrence during an intimate chat with Shannon Sharpe. Williams came clean about Lawrence approaching him about donning a frock in Big Mama's house too. The moment we step foot in that office, that moron pulls out Big Mama's house too. The end was near. All these kind white people are making me read this script. Due to Wills's disapproval of the proposal, Brandon T. Jackson was cast in its place. Lawrence once approached Williams while he was on a professional hiatus and told him, "Cat, I'm going to need you when I come back." Williams recalled this incident from his own experience. "When it comes to humor, you're like a brother to me. If you want to make a movie with me, we can." It resembles a buddy cop movie perhaps. By stating he was completely on board without even having to look over the script, Williams trusted their relationship and consented. Things changed, though, when Martin suggested Cat Williams for a part in Big Mama's House 2 at a meeting with the producers. Next, Williams received a script that, much to his astonishment, called for him and Martin to don drag costumes. This made Williams wonder, why are we doing this again? Because of what? The dress? Martin and I are filming a movie. Yeah, the film is progressing well. Consequently, I stroll in a van. I mean, come on, a dress in a trailer? It's got to be the incorrect one. He writes books. Listen, Dave, we have this hilarious scene where Martin is escaping from jail and he disguises you as he says. He then slipped into this gown. Kevin Hart discussed the importance of protecting his personal brand and establishing limits in 2012 to avoid sacrificing his principles for the sake of stardom and financial gain. He stressed that he had never been in a position where he had to compromise his values. With regard to the contentious subject of black male comedians being compelled to wear dresses in cinematic roles, Kevin categorically denied ever considering it. He emphasized the significance of being authentic and guarding one's reputation. On the other hand, Kevin surprised everyone in 2013 by wearing a frock to a Saturday Night Live skit. This surprising move seemed to go against his past position on upholding the integrity of his brand. After this performance, Kevin's career took off, and some even say that this contentious decision was a contributing factor to his meteoric rise to fame. Disappointment was swiftly expressed by both fans and detractors, who accused Kevin of betraying his word and compromising the integrity of his brand. People started talking about how black comedians in Hollywood are pressured to wear dresses as a way to join the exclusive circle of the industry after this occurrence. Kevin Hart was allegedly linked to Tyler Perry, a prominent personality in Hollywood renowned for his cross-dressing as Medea, after rumors started circulating that the two might have teamed up. Some have hypothesized that Perry suggested to Hart that she could gain more fame and fortune by just dressing more formally. According to this argument, Kevin's choice to wear a dress on Saturday Night Live was not an isolated incident but rather a part of a bigger storyline in Hollywood regarding the need to fit in for career advancement. Some speculated that Kevin Hart may have made concessions to get into the entertainment industry after he ended up wearing a dress on Saturday Night Live. According to Cat Williams, Kevin Hart may have compromised his ethics for the sake of his quick ascent to prominence, which may have been facilitated by deals with powerful Hollywood personalities. Kevin Hart's 2008 film Fool's Gold, in which Cat Williams was originally cast as a different character, provides some background for this assumption. Williams turned down the chance because of his legal issues and filming obligations in Australia, which began a long-running feud between the two comedians. Cat Williams has finally spoken out against Kevin Hart's career path, igniting their long-simmering animosity. While speaking with Shannon Sharpe, Cat cast doubt on Kevin's early success in Los Angeles, casting him as the lead in Soul Plane and landing a comedy in his first year. Insinuating that Kevin might be a Hollywood business plant, Cat Williams considers Kevin's meteoric rise dubious. A number of issues are brought up by Cat's criticism, including whether or not certain accomplishments in the entertainment industry are designed rather than achieved via more conventional methods. According to Cat Williams, black actors' decision to wear dresses in Hollywood may be related to whether they choose to be part of specific powerful organizations or to establish their own route. Turning our attention to Terrence Howard, we see that his Hollywood trajectory has been anything from smooth, hampered by both personal and legal issues that have frequently cast a shadow over his professional accomplishments. Terrence Howard's then-wife Lori McComas was the center of attention in 2001 after a domestic abuse episode, rather than his acting career. Court documents show that after an angry phone call, the confrontation turned violent, with Terrence destroying Lori's door and treating her disrespectfully. Still, Terrence's private life was far from over. His marriage to Michelle Gent in 2010 ended in divorce the following year when she filed for a restraining order and appeared in court with apparent injuries that Terrence denied causing, due to domestic abuse accusations. In an interview with Rolling Stone published in 2015, Terrence Howard spoke frankly about these events, including his take on the confrontations with Lori and Michelle. The event with Michelle, he said, was an accident that happened during a struggle. He denied ever intending to hurt Michelle and acknowledged to hitting Lori during an argument, a moment he characterized as losing control. Regardless of all these scandals, Terrence Howard still manages to keep his credibility, particularly when it comes to sharing his thoughts on the politics of the industry. This became clear when he openly agreed with Monique that Lee Daniel, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry were blackballing her in the entertainment world. What makes this support even more remarkable is that Terrence was a lead actor on Lee Daniel's program Empire at the time, which shows that he was prepared to stand by his beliefs even if it would hurt his career. Despite the danger to his own career in show business, Terrence Howard fearlessly stood up for Monique, demonstrating his steadfast support. He agreed with Monique that she had every right to speak up about how Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniel treated her, and he thought she had every reason to do so. The battle between Monique and these entertainment behemoths started more than 10 years ago. Oprah and Tyler wanted Monique to take part in promotional activities for the 2009 film without extra pay, which Monique vehemently refused, sparking a scandal that began with their demands. Because such promises were not part of her contract, she said. While arguing that her meager $50,000 for her role in the film wasn't enough to warrant unpaid promotional work overseas, she emphasized this fact. According to Monique, Tyler Perry did everything in his power to sabotage her acting career. It all started when she said no to attending the Precious premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. Because of her hectic schedule as a talk show presenter, comedian, and family member, Monique declined the studio's invitation to visit France. The studio offered Monique and her husband a free hotel room, but they turned it down because they wanted to spend more time with their families. After Monique's husband asked the studio about compensation, they revealed that the company wouldn't pay for promotional activities. This was the last straw that convinced Monique to go to Cannes. It wasn't all about the money for Monique, who was paid $50,000 for her role in Precious. She wanted to collaborate with a buddy, thus she accepted the part. Like everyone else, Monique couldn't afford to labor for free, and she stayed firm when challenged about the money she needed for her family and bills. Rumors started circulating that Monique was demanding and unpleasant when she declined to promote the picture at Cannes without payment. A simple matter, which Monique thought had been settled amicably, gave rise to this story. The result, though, was an inaccurate portrayal of her. After everything that has happened, Terrence Howard's animosity toward Tyler Perry is reasonable. In view of the accusations that Monique has made public, what is your opinion on this matter? Let us know what you think in the comments and we can talk about it in the other video.